character and his mother.
It can be a lot. When you watch the episode, he's like Division 3. He paid for school. He's like, look at it like that's like, you kidding me? And he has the game. Like, he don't want to go D3.
Right.
He is his game. He's too good for that. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't do that. It's like having a college degree and working at Wendy's. You ain't gonna go for Division 3. So Division 1, and that's the top level. That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? And get the scholarship. But sometimes it don't work out that way. And that's why it's like who reality is, because you might see something and then sometimes it don't work that way. It could be because of grades. It can be because you don't have the game you thought you did. It can be a lot of things.
Can you talk to me about the paradigm between parent and player, between the main character and his mother? You know, pretty much from what I took from the episode is that part of him wanting to be successful is to make it easier on his mother, because he sees everything that she has to do to you know, to take care of home, you know. What's the relationship like from player to with his mother? Can you just like walk me through that?
Yeah, he's he knows how hard she's working. She has 2 jobs. He's still living in projects. He sees how hard it is to actually, you know, make ends meet. So what he's trying to do is help relieve some of that pressure. So he's like, I'm gonna go play Division 1. I'm gonna get a scholarship, take that pressure off of you, you know. But the reality of it is, it's way bigger than just basketball. Like, he got to understand that you can't just think of it you got to do good school. You got to keep a straight and narrow head. And when things don't go his way, it's kind of like now it's a confusion thing. And most of us had that when you're 21, 22. You get in that stage where it get confusing because now this is the real world. And he's just trying to help his mother out. But now this stuff is kind of unraveling. It's kind of hard for him now because he's starting to see that I might not be able to do what I need to do. You know, and that's what happens especially when you live in a neighborhood where it's kind of sketchy, because you have a lot of peer pressure. You have a lot of people that didn't make it. He don't have role models like that except for the coaches. And we're trying to help him.
That's cool. I noticed that about the show, but I didn't notice it much until you mentioned it. So okay, he doesn't have role models. He's, you know what I mean, pretty much doesn't have a male figure besides the coach. But and your character, his name is Mike Murphy. Any particular reason why you named your character Mike Murphy?
Well, it goes into like names of people that was role models to me. So my coach name was Mike McCleary, and he was a good coach. Then I had another coach. His name was something Murphy. I forgot because it was like a while back, but I remember his last name was Murphy, and he was the guy that, because I didn't really play that much in the beginning in college because I didn't get recruited, but he was the one, that assistant coach, that was like, you have to play Jay. This guy's in practice killing everybody. You know, and he was the one that was like, got me to get some minutes, and then we blew somebody out, and I finally got in the game, and I scored like 20 in like 2 minutes. You know, so the school wasn't that good, but it was called Rockland County, and I destroyed. So it was because of him, because he was the one that, because the coach, that's another thing too. When you get recruited, you get kind of like, not a silver spoon, but you're gonna get the minutes. You're gonna get to prove yourself. If you a walk on and they don't know about you, you ain't gonna play. You ain't get the opportunity. So he was the one that said, in tryouts, he did his thing, and in practice, he's killing everybody. You gotta play him. And then Mike McCleary finally gave me, you know what I'm saying? So it was Mike, and then it was the Murphy, and I put their names together because they was both my role models. And like they both helped me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. I want to kind of develop. This is another thing too. I try to send messages too. A lot of coaches fail because they don't communicate. So if you notice, a lot of guys, like say when they play college, they don't play a lot. The coaches don't tell you why. They don't say anything. Like, you just don't play. They don't think you're good enough. My coach actually told me stuff like, the reason why I'm not playing is because you don't know the plays. I didn't know some of the plays. I just knew street ball. Like, I get the ball. If you can't guard me, I'm gonna score on you. But in college, there's a system. You got to run through the plays. You have to do certain things to get other guys open. I didn't know that. So he told me
that type of thing.
Yeah, so he told me. So I knew why. I said, oh, okay. So then I started getting my players to help me learn the plays.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started doing them. And then I still wasn't playing. So that's when the assistant coach said, look, he's doing everything we told him to do. He's killing in practice. Nobody can stop him. We got to play this kid. And then when I got my chance, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's what this I want this to be about too, is communication. Because when you communicate, tell the guys, that might help. Because the kids don't know what they're doing wrong. It's on the bench. It's like, I don't know why I'm not playing.
But no, but that part is what I kind of want to harp on is the being coachable, regardless of how talented you are. You definitely need to, you know, be coachable. So because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you got more opportunity to play ball because you were coachable and were willing to listen. Even though you knew you were probably one of the most talented, scoring 20 in 2 minutes, you still felt like there was, and again, you started we started like that, where you said, you know, when I was younger, I didn't start off good. I, you know what I mean, got better over the years. And, you know, so again, so you're saying as a player, more opportunities come to you when you are coachable
when you're coachable and you have a coach that kind of like communicates with you and you have a coach that believes in you. It's a lot that comes into play. So that's why I like the name Hoop Realities, because Hoop Realities is like, it's way more than just basketball. Like, you can love the game, but it's opportunities. You get the opportunity. It's people that's coachable. And it's also people that kind of like ask questions. Like, even with the kid, Kevin, he didn't understand Division II. Like, what, I'm doing my thing. I'm good. What's the issue? And that's why I got to communicate to him. Like, remember I said it's a business. I'm like, you can play, but a college coach is not going to take a chance on you no matter how good you are when their job's on lots of business. They have to get fans and the fans there. They have to, the coach have to do a lot, and they have to make sure that you are actually going to play on the team. If you are at risk, I'm not giving you that scholarship. You know what I'm saying? Even as a coach, like if I'm a coach, I'm not giving a scholarship to a kid that I feel might not be eligible. So I'm looking at his grades. Yeah, so that's key.
So ultimately, you feel like the message of the first episode was what exactly?
It's that you have to focus not just on basketball. You have to look at the grades, academics, and even like, you know, one of the guys in the chat said that these kids don't take it seriously, but the coaches have to do a job of letting the kids know how important it is and focus on that too. Do your thing in basketball, work on your game, but make sure your grades is together, because when the coaches come to recruit you, they look at all of that. That all comes into play, you know, especially in New York City, because New York City, that's another thing. New York is so competitive that it's so many other big players they can choose from. It's like, if I can get a kid that actually doing good in school and can play, I'm taking him over the kid that might be academic risk. You know what I'm saying? There's too many other point guards in New York City that can get over you. So, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, and if you look at it, look from way back in the day, I don't know if you ever heard of Booger. So Booger Smith and Skip Malone.
Yeah.
All these guys failed off their high school teams and all the other stuff. And Booger never got to play really in college ball, only with junior college, because coaches didn't want to take a risk. First of all, he was like, I don't want to say a head case, but he had character issues. And then Skip Malone just wasn't going to class. So people wasn't taking a risk on him until he started showing he could actually do good in school. And then he went to junior college in California. He started showing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Smith,
I actually, to add to what you said, I only know this because I just seen an interview with Knuckleheads with guard Shamgar, and he was explaining about Booger Smith and how nice he was and how competitive the New York team was. But he didn't get into that. So shout out to you, because I didn't know that. But he definitely explained that it was one school that he was about to go to, and these kids talent-wise were some of the best in college, but they were quote unquote, for lack of better words, knuckleheads, where, you know, they were getting into a lot of trouble on campus, that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a bad look. And that being said, you know, that's part of the reason why he didn't go to that school, because there's no way that he could focus on basketball with, you know, with that kind of distraction off of the basketball court. And another thing that I wanted to say was, in the interview, he also explained that he didn't want to go to school with Stephon Marbury because he wasn't going to get no playing time. So he made sure that he went to a school that he was going to get playing time. So that's another thing too, where I learned, and you can speak to that as well, because the New York scene is so competitive. You get a lot of situations where, you care about how many minutes you're gonna get. Like, yeah, you care about winning, but the way Shamgar described it was, the only reason why I didn't try to team up with Stephon Marbury at Georgia Tech, because he said he could, is because I wanted playing time, and I knew they was going to have me riding the bench behind Stephon Marbury. Everybody knew in the New York scene that he was the nicest guard in from New York at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that was a great interview, man.
I've seen it